Welcome to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast, where you can learn and be inspired by real-world examples of how technology is transforming businesses and reshaping industries in a language everyone can understand. Here is your host, Neil C. Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast. Today I have 3 words for you. Death by PowerPoint. I think we've all been there. But in a digital world where technology has transformed everything, I wanted to explore how tech is now changing the humble presentation and why that's a good thing and why presentations still matter in corporate offices. James Ontra, he's the CEO at Shufflrr, and he's going to join me on today's podcast to talk about what makes presentations better for everyone across the enterprise. And I also learn more about this presentation management technology and how it's actually letting users visualize and format all files as slides so they are easily accessible and just ready to present at a moment's notice. So James is waiting for us at the side of the road somewhere in Houston, Texas. So come with me now and we'll get the conversation started. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little more about who you are and what you do?
Hi, I'm James Ontra. I'm CEO of Shufflrr. Shufflrr is a presentation management service. We help big companies, global companies manage presentations across their enterprise.
Now, before we talk about you guys, I'd love to explore just how you got here. Can you tell me the story behind this?
Well, yeah, we've been, my sister and I, who's my partner, we've been doing presentations for 25 years, done very high-end stuff, exhibits in Epcot Center, and helped a lot of the media companies sell all their advertising. And through the years, it was a very high consultative, helping people get their slides, their colors, their brand, their identity, and all into one place and doing it. And we did very well. Over the years, we found the same questions coming up. We need a consistent brand. We need consistent identity. Why can't everyone in the company use these slides that we're making for the CEO? And after hearing that over and over again, we realized that the presentation workflow is fundamentally broken. It was dead-ended. So we created Shufflrr to close the loop on that presentation workflow, to make it a full process communications tool.
I'm curious, when you help such a huge, diverse range of brands and enterprises, have you noticed anything that all of them have in common when they come and ask you for your help?
Yes, that's the fundamental reasons why Shufflrr was started. Consistent brand, consistent identity, compliance, ensuring that you know what's being said by whom, when, and where in the marketplace. And the last thing is, presentations are incredibly credible. People can advertise on TV, radio, billboards, print, everywhere. But fundamentally, if your salesperson is doing a bad presentation, it doesn't matter what all that stuff adds up to anyway.
Absolutely. And for people that are hearing about you guys for the first time, could you possibly share how Shufflrr makes those presentations better for everyone across the enterprise? And also how you're actually saving people from death by PowerPoint. And that's something that we've all been there before.
Really, I'll start with presentations are the last medium that is not managed in corporate in the world. I mean, we manage print, we manage TV, we manage radio, we manage phone calls, we manage every form of communication. I just named 5 of them. But for some reason, presentations have been left out of that whole mix in doing it. So the fundamental thing is that most big companies have marketing departments who sit down and get the perfect brand, perfect identity, perfect words, how to say it. They have training for speaking on it and make all this work for the presentation perfect. They hand it over to sales, who then, rightfully so, will butcher it, throw it away, and if they can get the sale, they do it regardless. What Shufflrr does is allows those marketing people, as opposed to preparing one presentation for Thursday afternoon for 40 minutes and 40 slides, they prepare one 300-slide presentation that says everything about the company, what you do, how you do it, your products, your services, case studies, bios, the history of the company, everything into it. From that, you just drag it up to Shufflrr, and Shufflrr publishes the whole library. So that when you want to do a presentation and you're just someone out in Chicago or a different city, tap into Shufflrr, your presentation library, drag and drop the slides you're looking for, hit save, and you have a new compliant, up-to-date presentation, 95% of what you need. You then add on a title page, agenda, hi, Mr. Schwartz, so on and so forth, and you're good to go. Because this is all in one system, now management and marketing has intelligence of who uses what slide, when, in what order, and that whole communication channel is now a business intelligence channel telling you and helping you upgrade your sales process.
And as this is a tech show, I feel compelled to lift up the hood and ask about the presentation management technology that actually makes all this possible. And also, what makes it different from other solutions out there? Is that something you can expand on?
Yeah, the fundamental reason why it's different is Shufflrr visualizes every file. So if you upload a PowerPoint, you will see the 15 slides. If you upload a video, you see the screen capture, much like YouTube. Upload a Word document, upload a PDF, upload an image, you just see it. Like if you scroll through Pinterest, you see 150 pictures in no time. Why couldn't those be your 150 slides? And once that's done, the speed for making presentations is incredible. I know people have heard the first part of death by PowerPoint isn't just sitting in the audience. It's the moment someone asks you to say, can you do a presentation? You go, oh, God. And you go to your marketing drive and you open this one, you close it, you open another one, you close it, you open the third, and you say, oh, I'll start with that. You rename it and then go back to the first and copy 2 pages and paste it in and do 3 or 4. And after 90 minutes of doing this, you're at your starting point. And you still have to clean up the whole thing and get the message right. Shufflrr makes that whole process, cuts it down to like 5 minutes.
And you just revealed a handful of scenarios there that I guarantee that every single person listening has experienced at some stage or another. But what is the value add that Shufflrr is giving businesses, and what problems is it solving? And that's for the business leader that's listening and the marketer that's listening that just wants to work out how they can get the most out of this and why it's a big deal to them.
There's a couple things. The first thing is it saves time for people in the field. One of our clients basically said it took up to 5 hours to configure a new presentation every time they went out. A salesperson went out. They cut that down to 10 or 15 minutes. That's one huge time saving. The second thing is accuracy. If you know that everyone in your company is presenting the same product the exact same way, it's like singing off the same sheet of music. You're creating perfect harmony. You're not going to get a different message from 2 different salespeople on 2 different sides of the country. That consistency is ultimately important. And then at the end, once you've put your slides into a system like this and you start getting the business intelligence of who gave what presentations to whom, when, and where. We stayed on slide 3 for 2.5 minutes, but then jumped to slide 7 because the client didn't want to see the process. They just wanted to see the solution. All that knowledge that happens during presentations is now captured, and it becomes part of your marketing, your business intelligence going forward. So those 3 things are ultimately critical. I'll give you an example of how it really works in real life. Let's say your CEO is giving a keynote address at the big conference that has your whole industry in it. There's 1,000 people in the audience, and you've supported your CEO. You've gotten this person proper animations, great wording. They've gotten training, how to speak, what to talk about, how to do it, and all of that. And they're ready for the meeting. And they go up there and they stand on the stage, and all your salespeople and everyone's in the audience and all your clients. If you use a system like this, the moment the CEO is finished giving their speech, every salesperson in the audience has that presentation, knows what to say about it. All the training, all the knowledge that went into helping your CEO now gets transferred out to everyone out in the field, and you don't lose that. It's not a one-off performance. It's now an ongoing training communication tool that helps you every single day of your business.
And for those same people that are listening to our conversation today, the first question they're going to be asking or concerned about, of course, is how easy is it to get started with Shufflrr? And so is there a steep learning curve to begin with, or is it quite intuitive and you can just pick it up as you go along, as you would a PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, it's pretty intuitive. The hardest part is taking the from to. When mentally you change from I have a presentation on Tuesday morning for 30 minutes and I've got 20 slides and it's all hands-on and we're working it and all that type of stuff just to get ready for that meeting. And then after the meeting, you exhale and go where we're having lunch. This changes that mentality to this is a communications tool that marketing is putting together a library of slides of your entire company. So if you took that library and started at slide 1 and went to the end, slide 300, you would say everything about every product and everything there is. But in any meeting, you just want to pick a slide 1. You want to see the history of the company. Maybe the CEO went to school with this client, bring in the CEO's bio, pull in a video of your London office and hit save. And you now have 20 compliant, up-to-date slides that are branded, that are look good, that have the right wording, that are tracked, that are all in line. And for a salesperson, it's 5-10 minutes. It's like going to Amazon, picking five items, putting them in your cart and hitting buy. You can do it very quickly. We're all trained to do that. So the biggest change is the mentality of not having one-off siloed presentations, but having your marketing department treat presentations as part of the marketing mix and having a library of slides always available and published to the people in your organization.
And we are living in a period of transformational change and technology is moving at breakneck speed. And so much of what we've done for 20, 30 years or more has been completely transformed, and equally other areas have remained largely the same. So here in 2019, looking towards 2020, why is it you think presentations are such an important part of that marketing mix? And what do you think the role of a presentation is in business communications now?
Presentations are critical to training, educating, and ultimately selling and convincing a client to go your way, whatever it might be. They are critical in the communication mix, and for some reason, they've been left out of it. If a big company changes their logo, they go right to the advertising department and they make sure that it's up to date in their business cards, the print, the advertising, everywhere except for presentations. The poor salespeople are left out in the front, out in the field trying to copy and paste and do the logos and stuff. This changes it and allows marketing to put it out there and allows your people to be instantly on page, on target, coming right out of the door. It's a slightly different way of viewing this whole communication channel. I'll give you an example in real life, how this is really changing. If you met me at a restaurant and we started chatting and you said, gee whiz, I'm taking a trip to Spain. And I say, gosh, I was in Spain last summer too. And as fast as I say that, I pull out my phone, I skim through my pictures, I click the picture on page and says, here's me in Barcelona, look at that. Little did you know, this is the presentation following the conversation. You picked up your phone, strummed through a bunch of slides, picked the one you want, and showed it to me. That is a slideshow. If your salespeople have that type of knowledge of what slides are in the audience, then the slides can follow the conversation. If I'm pitching a person and they say, gee whiz, I didn't know you had a London office. I didn't know they were interested in it, but I have a slide on that and I can pull it up as fast as I pulled up that picture from Spain. And suddenly you have a communication issue. The presentation doesn't force the conversation. The presentation follows the conversation and reinforces it. And that's one of the fundamental changes that are happening.
And we all know too well about the inefficiencies with outdated software such as PowerPoint or the way that we use it. But how can organizations maximize their content with Shufflrr, do you think?
It's very easy. Basically, the first step is pull your PowerPoints into one folder. The second step is to look at them in the categories of your business. The big one is who you are, what you do, how you do it, case studies. Then delete the duplicate slides and put those PowerPoints into that folder structure they had and just drag it up to Shufflrr. Once you drag that folder into Shufflrr, it will process all the slides. It will make every bit of content searchable, the slide titles, the speaker notes, the content on the page, any tags or metadata that's with it. And now with that, you now have a published library of what's going on. That 2-hour, 90-minute process of organizing them, bringing them together, copying, pasting, will save everyone in your organizations hours and hours during every presentation they ever do.
And for anyone listening that would love to find out more information on this, can you point them in the direction of where they can find you online? Maybe check out a few videos and images that will just help them visualize everything we've been talking about today. And also contact your team if they are left with any additional questions.
That's great. The best place to find us is at Shufflrr, Shufflrr. And quite frankly, you call us up, we'll help you. We'll walk you through it. Every client gets free consulting to help them through this process. Our success comes from you being successful. So that first work ahead of time gets you going. That's really the best way to get going. There are videos on the site. You can find us at YouTube and Facebook, and the same videos are posted there. But I would say just go to the site, read through it. You can see the process. And if you're a big global organization, you could rebrand and reset up your whole thing in just a few weeks. If you're a relatively small organization, it could get going in one afternoon. As a matter of fact, this afternoon, I'm going to help someone out do the same thing. I'm in another city visiting, and I'm just going to stop in for an hour and get the whole ball rolling.
Well, I always say at the end of every episode, technology works best when it brings people together. And I absolutely love what you're doing here by using technology to essentially make presentations better for everyone across the enterprise. And that is so important. So a big thank you for taking the time to come and share your story with me today. Thanks again.
Thank you, Neil. Appreciate the time.
I love how Shufflrr transforms these single-use presentations and makes them easy to reuse, but on demand. I think it's incredibly interesting how, in doing so, companies are able to get a better ROI on their marketing content, control their brand, control their message, all while making it easier and faster for the employees in the field to give a successful presentation that drives business completely on the fly. But Shufflrr aside, I also love chatting about the components of presentation management, why presentations are important, especially that role in business communications, and why presentations are a crucial mix of the sales funnel and marketing mix too. Yes, not to mention the inefficiencies with outdated methods that we've all used on PowerPoint, but how organisations can maximise that almost endless array of content. That is the sweet spot. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on presentations. We've all used them. We've all delivered good ones and possibly bad ones too. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So please email me techblogwriter@outlook.com, tweet me at Neil C. Hughes, or pop by my website, techblogwriter.co.uk. But once again, we're out of time. It sure does fly when you're having fun, doesn't it? But don't worry, I'm going to be back same time, same place tomorrow with another guest, and we'll explore another industry of how technology is transforming it and delivering value and solving problems. So a big thank you for listening, and until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thank you for listening to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast with Neil C. Hughes. Remember, technology works best when it brings people together.